Hello and welcome to the Hoop Collective podcast. We talk about the NBA, which we're doing here right under the basket, Iman Shumpert, at Paycom Center, where the Thunder are celebrating their first ever NBA championship with a strong second half performance to finish out a really strong season. The proper team won the championship, in my opinion. They were the best team all year long. They were the best team in this series. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander had an excellent second half. He got great support from Chet Holmgren defensively, and Jaylen Williams scoring enough points, 28 points offensively. But I feel like tonight will not be remembered for anything the Thunder did.
When you think about it, as soon as you saw Tyrese Halliburton, we saw the pop on the slow-mo. Once you saw that heel completely touch floor, even like we were saying earlier, even for the Thunder players, it was like a shell shock, very eerie after that. Again, they found their rhythm in the second half, so I can agree with you. The Thunder should have won. Would have liked to see it at full strength, but man, it was a great series, I think.
Yeah, it was. It was truly remarkable. The Pacers had a 1-point lead at halftime. They were doing their Pacer thing where they were getting contributions up and down. They had successfully slowed the game to a spot where they could, especially after Tyrese went out, they really couldn't play up-tempo with them. They had slowed the game. It was 48-47. And then the third quarter, the worst thing you can do is turn the ball over. And basically whoever won the turnover game won each game in this series. There were games where the Thunder couldn't stop the Pacers with the turnovers, but the turnovers in the third quarter were 8-0. And, 8 for the Pacers, 0 for the Thunder. And the devastating stat of the night, where the game was decided, in my view, 18 points off of turnovers in the third quarter for the Thunder, 0 for the Pacers. That's pretty much the game.
Yeah, you had a second there where T.J. McConnell was trying to keep you in it, which
amazing.
You love the fight.
He's amazing, man.
You love the fight in that guy. But, down the stretch, or even within that flurry that he does, right? That's when you got to have a guy like Pascal Siakam, where it's like now you got to get on the block because TJ's going back and forth. He in a heavyweight match right now by himself.
Yeah.
But he's also a guy that counts by two. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
He's not a guy that's going to hoist up a lot of threes. And a lot of the things that he does don't lead to threes unless you have a Halliburton playing alongside him or he coming in and out for him and things are moving, things are hopping, things are going full court. They didn't get a lot of defensive rebounds that were going to lead to a lot of runouts tonight. They weren't as scrappy and getting as many deflections as they once were. The biggest stat to me that jumped out was Obi Toppin.
Yeah.
Throughout their ups and downs, Obi Toppin has done, I think, a lot of what Chet has done, where sometimes it might not show up on the stat line, but Obi Toppin does a lot of great things for them as far as deflections, being in the right place at the right time, and then shooting the three ball extremely well. He did not shoot the ball well, he did not get into a rhythm, and he wasn't really aggressive at all. You know what I mean? And when I say that, I look at defensive rebounds right away for aggression of somebody that jumps like that.
Yeah.
If he's got 6-7 rebounds or defensive rebounds, I don't mind him going to the offensive board as well, but 6-7 rebounds for playing 20 minutes makes sense to me. If you're sweating and you're getting in there, you're scrapping, you're getting 50-50 balls, I think those are the things that lead to easy points and, give you a little breathing room on the offensive end. Again,
that's a classic role player on the road situation, isn't it? He had 20 points in Game 6. And, I think a key moment, there was actually a moment in the third quarter where it was a couple of possessions where the Thunder actually were double-teaming McConnell.
Oh, you're talking about the Thunder?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and the reason that's relevant is because here comes Shai. Here comes the MVP. Or no, that's Jaylen Williams. He's got a custom Letterman jacket there.
What? Yes, sir.
Don't let go of that trophy.
Welcome, sir. Welcome, sir. Welcome,
Congratulations.
Sir. Welcome, sir.
So anyway,
Jaylen Williams has arrived with the trophy. I told him welcome because small group.
Yeah.
Small
he liked
group.
it. He knew exactly what you meant.
Oh, yeah. He know. I knew when I saw the video of him pointing at it.
Yeah.
When you get to pointing at that hand, man, that's really all you do it for. That's the thing that, all athletes feel accepted by that, man. That something about that championship. People try and figure out ways to make it rank here and do this and do that,
yeah,
but it's like
we do that. Once you're in the club,
but you let people do it.
Yeah.
Because once you're in the club, it's like Michael Jordan can see Jaylen Williams. I can see you now. That's what it means to me. Like once you become a champion, Bill Russell, Reggie Miller, all the greats. They're like, oh no, we watched to see who won that ball.
Yeah, well, the thing about it is that it's one of those things that you can never diminish it. Once you're a champion, you can say a lot of bad stuff about
forever.
You. And that was one tonight. These guys are basking in it right now. I don't even know if we should talk that much about this game, but I mean, I would just say that
it's a great game.
They were double teaming McConnell because they had nobody else going. And like that's because Halliburton was hurt. It's because Siakam didn't have it going. It's because Toppin didn't have it going. Nembhard didn't really have it going. They double team.
The possession that I think was.
All right, go ahead.
They double team Shea.
Yeah.
Shea carries. They don't call it. Lou Dort hits a bomber three, and they first started their separation. If I'm on Indiana, I would have jumped up and down and got a technical foul and said that was a carry, but that was a very important.
I didn't even notice that.
He and like threw it down,
Congrats,
got it
Mark.
back, corralled it, got it back, threw it to the top, and Lou Dort shot a three from I don't know where. He lost the pass.
Well, I remember the three.
And let that three go.
It was 20
I want to say
in.
it was a 4-point game at that time. It was either a 4-point.
I can't remember the last time they called a carry in a game 7. But I feel you. They by the way, they let Shea. They let Shea get away.
You gotta call this one. Trust me, I'm very much like let him play.
Right.
Even Shea's face, he knew he just messed up. He knew it, and he had been taking care of the ball. That's why he was gonna be mad about it. He couldn't believe they let it go. He got rid of it immediately. Smart, very smart.
He didn't let him think about it.
Not at all. And Lou Dort hoisted up, made that shot, and I think after that, if I'm Indiana, that's a deflating shot. We did our job. No call. They keep playing. They hit a bomber. It really was a prayer. He hits it. They all exhale, and we all just like, that's one of those plays to me.
Well, Rick Carlisle was trying everything he possibly could to get a technical foul because I think he was a little exasperated in that third quarter. Because, they really allowed a lot of physical play today, which you probably want in a Game 7. There was a chintzy call on Neesmith early in the game when he got his second foul. But really, they let him play for the most part.
Neesmith, I feel like, plays well, even when the whistle goes against him. I think he's one of the better players in the NBA.
He keeps fouling out, though.
He fouls out, but, I mean, when you have to guard some of these players that you have to guard, if you have Shea, you can't close out short. Like, that's how a guy gets 40. You know what I mean? And sometimes it takes 6 fouls and you're not available tonight. You know what I mean? I think it's great that he takes on the challenge. Of course, he's going to get way more respect going into next year now as a defender. They're not going to call as many tic-tac fouls on him because now you get to see how he plays. You got to see how he plays throughout a series, throughout a final series. So you start to move the needle.
A lot of the Pacers elevated themselves.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
You move the needle a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't all the way know how a lot of these guys play. Like, I knew how Siakam played. I know if he gets to a one dribble into the spin, he might get the call. Because me and everybody else on earth knows he's going to do it. You know what I mean? But once the refs and the crowd, we all start knowing that's his game. He does that every time. Nobody could stop that. If he misses it, 9 times out of 10, somebody fouled. You know, 9 times out of 10, if they flail their arms, they kind of sell it. They're saying somebody fouled them because that's their bread and butter. They're not going to fake it. And I think a lot of the guys move the needle as far as that go, especially you, TJ McConnell. If they don't have a scouting report for you next year, somebody need to get fired.
I also thought Benedict Mathurin played valiantly.
Yeah.
That poor guy's going to be in a tub of ice right now. He hit the floor hard like 5 times.
Yeah, the run into the post was crazy. I was reminded that he was 23 years old because right after running into that post after that travel that he did, they ended up calling a foul right before the travel came when he took the 3 steps and went to the layup. But he ran into the bottom of the backboard right here, and to get back up, pop back up, and just run over here and shoot 2 free throws is unbelievable. Enjoy your youth.
It was the Thunder really won this game the way they won a lot of games over the course of the season. It was it was a symbolic way that they did that. Chet played his best game in a couple of games. Williams had 20. Shea didn't, Shea was less than his normal points, but he played, he missed like 19 shots. It was not his best game, but he delivered what he delivered. He won the
pace
MVP.
was there.
12 assists.
Yeah, his pace was there. He kept people involved. He played point guard tonight. He didn't shoot it well, but he played point guard. That's the thing about Shea. When he had that game where he didn't pass the ball, that's why he was so adamant about it the next game, because he knows and he knew in that game, if I don't get these guys going, who's to get them going? Who's to make them feel like whatever I missed before, erase that. Like, I don't care as long as you're doing the things that we know you could do. And I think that Shea did that today. Today he didn't shoot it well, but he didn't take the bait of, I got to get myself going, I got to get myself going. No, you're going to get going. And you're going to shoot 8 free throws as long as y'all are ahead. So, you know what I mean? You just got to sort of keep it to where they giving me this, they giving me that. Let me shoot a couple inside-out threes. Let me get to my spots. Let me get 2 feet in the paint. But I don't have to force anything because other guys are making shots. Other guys are going to run. And, again, they made so much offense off the defense. They made the game easy tonight.
Yeah, I like this is what I refer to. Oh, we got McMahon. Is McMahon sitting down? He's talking
What up,
to
baby?
people.
How you doing?
It's Bam McMahon.
Howdy, partners.
There you go.
You didn't get any champagne on your beautiful suit.
I'll be honest with you.
Wasn't a lot of champagne going
brother,
around.
listen, not surprisingly, that was maybe the tamest championship celebration that I've ever seen. There was a few Thunder employees who were moist. Nobody soaked. Now,
Keep talking.
Jaylen Williams, J-Dub, did report he had the first sip of alcohol in his life.
Wow.
The first sip of alcohol
And put it right down.
in his. I don't know how much he had, but he seemed to be pretty coherent. So I was just saying, J-Dub had the first sip of alcohol.
Well, he came out
in his
here.
life.
He was stone sober. He was.
Yeah, I think it might have been a sip or two, but I went in there and the coolers were still pretty damn full.
Now listen, this man has had a few sips of alcohol, so I think on a visceral level, he's reacting to it.
I'm the same way where I couldn't wait to not even drink the champagne. I just wanted to splash it everywhere.
Yeah, right. At least put it on the show.
I just wanted to do what I saw all the greats do.
Here's the thing.
It was just shocking.
I remember about so first off, I don't go into locker rooms necessarily. You had to go to cover it, but I don't like to go in the locker room after the team win because I think it's their championship.
Yeah.
It's for you to celebrate.
For sure.
However, in 2016, I did go, and there was
Champagne everywhere.
trash bags on the floor with champagne on the floor. And everybody almost wiped out every 5 seconds.
Yeah.
But you guys were smoking cigars.
Oh, yeah.
And they were screaming at him, you're not supposed to smoke cigars. You go, California, you're not allowed to smoke inside.
Well, hey.
They did not care.
When you win a championship, you don't ask for
And we
permission.
weren't running. Yeah, we were not. It was all forgiveness.
Yeah.
It will all be forgiven. It will all be forgotten.
Well,
They will only
especially-
remember that we won.
Especially when it is delivering the first championship to a city like you did to
Oh, yeah, for
Cleveland
sure.
and like these guys did here to Oklahoma City. Look, the championship in Seattle, that is Seattle's. That's the Supersonics.
When the Sonics come back,
Thunder
that banner will be up
franchise.
there.
Right. The Thunder franchise just won their first championship. I do not believe it will be the last. I think they might put together multiples here.
They definitely
coming up in
extended.
the years to come. I got to just tell you, though, man, was that, for the Pacers, was that the best playoff run that didn't end in a championship ever? I mean, you
I
talk
gotta
about
think
all
about this.
the journey they went on, the miracle comebacks, the upsets they pulled off, the fight they put up against a 68-win, heavily favored Thunder team. I really think that might be the best non-championship playoff
They
run
were ahead
we've
at the
ever
half.
seen. Huh?
They were ahead at the half.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
I mean,
crazy.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, like, listen, the what ifs with Halliburton, he came out hot too, boy. Like he was.
Well, that's the
he was
thing.
hitting from deep.
This is a gigantic. I'm trying to walk the line here because you know how I feel about the Thunder.
Yeah.
You know how I feel about organic championships, where a team built it from scratch on their own. They didn't have free agent come in. They didn't have a player force his way there via trade.
Right.
An organic championship. which is what we have here. I want to give that the most respect. Like, they could win 2 or 3 more titles over the next 5-7 years, and it will not feel as good as this one.
Right.
Because the first one, just like Cleveland could win another championship, but it will never be like 16 because you guys were down 3-1. That will not be duplicated.
Yeah.
So I do not want to take a syllable away from the Thunder. But at the same time, I'm having a hard time not just saying what if.
Well, and honestly, you got to have sympathy for the pay, especially for Tyrese Haliburton. Because listen, man, like he talked about before Game 6, he talked about like understanding the risk. And when you have a calf strain, you know what the risk is. We've seen this happen with Kevin Durant in the finals. Unfortunately, everybody knew exactly what the risk is. We saw the risk play out in really painful, tragic fashion there on the other end of the floor. How can you not feel sorry for the guy? But there's no way you're not going to play in Game 6 and 7 of the NBA Finals.
Forget about it. We were talking about it after Game 6. He made movements over and over that we all thought this could be it at any moment. When he got through Game 6, after he hit the second 3 in here, I forgot about the calf.
I'm telling you.
I forgot about the calf muscle. I just started rolling with him.
And they were like deeper and deeper and deeper.
Start talking trash into that timeout. I said, hey, man, I don't know what drug they gave that man. But he don't feel that calf. And then it was like right after that, you have that disheartening. You had the confirmation from him saying no, 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 like not right now. Yeah, that's tough. But honestly, if I'm the OKC Thunder, there's zero chance that anybody thinks that I care that somebody went down.
No, I
promise you,
and they shouldn't. And
to my standard, I don't feel like we should have lost the first championship.
Right.
Kyrie halved his knee. I had my shoulder out of place. JR's back was messed up. Kevin Love's back was messed up. LeBron's...
No, Kevin Love's shoulder was out.
The shoulder was out.
Yeah.
I can't remember what LeBron's issue was, but I believe he went and got some back operation after that before the next season.
He might have just broken news, but we'll just move past that.
Terrible. Everybody was terrible after that. And
we're revisiting old 10 years ago, but
I mean, it's just injuries come with it.
Yeah.
Like this, that was
part
my
of
only
winning
thing.
the championship is being able to get through.
Got to get healthy, and that's
Tim
weight
Bontemps
room. That's you said stand by.
Yeah.
There you go, chum.
Oh,
good.
no.
You gotta be healthy and you gotta be lucky.
You do.
It's a huge part of it every year.
A lot of that is luck, seriously, because every year you
and
have
then next
something
year,
wrong.
Bogut got hurt for them in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And that was a huge factor, Bogut getting hurt.
Without a doubt. And then Draymond Green got suspended.
Right.
I don't know why he did that, but thank you. Thanks. And that's all I mean. Like with the Thunder, it can't be one of those things where it's like,
I have a saying for this.
oh man, y'all didn't beat them when they were full strength. I don't care if they full strength.
I have a saying for this.
Go for it.
Winning means never having to say you're sorry.
Nope.
So that will come into full effect.
Sure will.
And here's what's scary. The Thunder should be better next year and the year after that, and their MVP is still an ascending talent. The only player in their regular rotation who you can say is maybe on the back end of his prime is Alex Caruso. Jaylen Williams gets better week after week after week.
He does.
Chet was bedridden for much of the season. Like banged up as hell. Chet's going to get better, especially on the
They got 2 players over 27. They're the second youngest team to win a title ever, and they have everybody under contract. They have the most assets in the league. They got the best management team in the league. They are as set up as you can be, as we've said all playoffs, to be the next dynasty in the NBA. Now, like you said, Chump, you got to get lucky. You got to stay healthy. A lot of things have to fall into place, but there haven't been many times in the history of the league where a team has been this set up to be good for a long time. Like the Thunder are, you got to get one, and now they got it.
Yeah, so you've been talking about this. So this is the 7th consecutive year of a different champion, which we've never seen before. But
it's the ultimate area of parity in the NBA. We've seen 11 out of the 14 potential teams in the finals be different teams. That's never happened before. 7 years in a row with a champion. It's never happened before. It also feels like that era is over. It feels like we're about to walk into the era of OKC.
Set the over/under on how many championships this Thunder core wins.
That's gonna get us in trouble.
No, it's not.
I mean,
if I say 2.5, you take an over, Shump? Over under 2.5 titles for this group.
I say under.
Oh, really? I thought that was pretty kind of low.
The reason I say under is what I do know about winning a championship is as much as people thought you were good, now people practice for you.
Yeah.
Like it's no longer he's good, he's getting there. It's them. So we gonna run stuff to deal with that. We're gonna add people to our roster to deal with that.
This is not the first time Alex Crusoe's had alcohol.
Oh no, he's having a
Look,
good
we
time.
haven't seen a team get out of
having a good
the
time.
we haven't seen a team win a title and get out of the second round of the playoffs since 2019.
Wow.
So like you're talking since the Warriors got to the finals and lost with KD and those guys in 2019, every team that's won has lost in the second round or earlier. Yeah. So, again, you're talking about just repeating is hard, let alone having a dynastic run. But again, these guys are set up in a way nobody has been. And, to your point, big man, that's going to start being the talk. Like, they are the big, bad, dominant team now going forward in the league. And like you said, Shump, going forward, that's the team everybody's going to be aiming at and looking at how to beat them and how to take them down. And, they're going to be the gold standard going forward.
One wrinkle about that, the gold standard, basketball's going to get good.
Oh, yeah.
And you no longer could beat them the other way.
And listen, they are going to be – these guys are such Boy Scouts. Alex Caruso's back there saying, no, look, guys, this is how you open a champagne bottle, okay?
Was that seriously going on?
Yeah, that's what Rachel Nichols just tweeted. Jaylen Williams is his first little sip of alcohol.
Yeah, they're like real good kids.
But they're going to become –
During the trophy set presentation, somebody was messing with Alex's hair, and he goes, "Stop it!" Or his head, not his hair.
I was going to say what?
He's
I
like,
was
"Stop
going to
it."
say in his beard. No, but my point is, this bunch of Boy Scouts that are going to become villains to the casual NBA fan because, like, obviously they've got an unbelievable fan base here. But it's going to be either you're with them or, man, you want to see them get knocked off. And that's going to be – like I've talked about how do you market the Oklahoma City Thunder. You market them as they're the big dogs everyone's trying to knock off the block now.
Do we have the camera we can just show Mark Daigneault just casually talking to Bob Myers over there? Like, he just became a championship coach. He's just hanging out over there.
Yeah,
like,
with shorts on.
Yeah.
Man's out here.
I thought Mark
shorts
was
and
going
a
to kind of smile up on the podium.
He does
kind of smiled.
He doesn't even – his hair isn't out of place.
Hey, listen.
No flash.
Well, listen, we don't want to talk about Daigneault's hair because I do still think he's – well, now that Tibbs is gone, I think he's got the worst hairstyle of any active NBA coach who can grow hair.
That was uncalled for.
But hell of a coach. By the way,
I can think of some that
Y'all are
are
going good on
worse,
the
but I'm
hair
not
today,
going to
man.
say that because I'm not
Listen.
going to slander anybody.
listen, I congratulated Sam Presti, who obviously he's done an unbelievable
Yeah, he's
job.
on Scott Van Pelt right now.
Since he's been the GM here, but especially in this rebuild, right? We go back like the trade where he trades Paul George and somehow the rights to the reigning finals MVP, Kawhi Leonard, that he never had on the roster, to get SGA, a haul of picks, one of which is Jaylen Williams. Anyways, I congratulate him. I did extend an invitation to join us at the Tipsy Tiki.
Oh, are you going there tonight?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
But I invited Sam out there.
So I mentioned this on Van Pelt afterwards, and it's going to be in some stuff I'm doing after the series. When Woj broke the story that that Paul George was being traded and going with the Kawhi to the Clippers, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's name was in the fourth paragraph.
Oh, man.
Fourth paragraph, and like I'm not even taking a shot. Like he was a prospect.
Well, he was coming off, I believe, a second-team All-Rookie season. Like,
Right.
he wasn't he was like a nice prospect, but he
Yeah.
wasn't like, a crown
Right.
jewel.
This year he won 4 trophies.
You ain't going to let that go.
No, I just think it's amazing.
No,
I just
it
think
is.
it's
It
amazing
is.
that he
It's-
was.
I mean, that was a
Just-
great rookie class, a really great rookie class, and he was, a secondary player on a pretty deep Clippers team, right? Had a lot of promise, but nobody. I mean, it was the draft picks and Shea, but nobody thought that Shea was going to be an all-star.
Right.
Maybe like Tyrese Maxey is on Philly,
Well, I
right?
always-
But nobody thought he was going to be the best player on the planet. Maybe.
I always tell this story, Shump, that when did the Cavs start getting LeBron back in Cleveland? The answer was they started getting him back the next day because they forced Miami to do a sign and trade, which they got assets back for, which they ended up using to trade for Kevin Love, which helped them 4 years later. When did the Thunder begin winning this championship? The day they broke up their previous team, because they traded Paul George and then a couple of days later traded Russell Westbrook. But the Paul George trade brought back Shea.
Yeah.
And the draft pick that was Jaylen Williams and stuff that's there.
Well, and it led to they were competitive that year, but then it led to a teardown, a tank, not.
Well,
it is
and-
what it is.
well,
I'm not
They,
criticizing.
I think
back
It's the right
then-
they
thing to
admit
do.
it's a tank.
Well, Sam,
They're prepared
and
to
Sam
admit
at the time wrote a letter to the Oklahoman, the paper here, and in it he said, in saying goodbye to our past, we have to chart our future. The next great Thunder team is out there somewhere, but it will take time to seize and discipline to ultimately sustain.
Yeah. And it was
It took 6 years.
6 years.
And it was.
And now it could be sustained for a very long
The
time.
great Thunder team.
It was really
right.
it was really a 3-year rebuild, and then just taking they have been double-figure leaps the last 3 seasons for this team.
That's crazy.
From 24 to 40, from 40 to I believe 57,
57.
from 57 to 68.
It's hard to double-figure lead from 57.
There's only been one champion in NBA history who won more games than the Thunder this year. 84. Only there was one Jordan Bulls team that won more than 84 games. Now there was a 73-win Warriors, but they weren't a champion. Only one champion in NBA history has more wins than this Thunder team that 2 years ago won 42. The year before that was 24.
42 to 68 win champions in 2 years.
42 to 84.
That's pretty,
Doubled it.
That's pretty
All of
good.
these numbers, man. they get all the numbers, man. They just compared these to the Bulls, man.
Oh, see, Shump's from Chicago.
Listen,
he doesn't
listen.
like that.
And here's the thing.
My
Single season, you can talk about the single season statistical comparisons.
right.
They've got to, and look, if we're going to compare them historically, you got to compare eras. And that's when you talk about multiple titles. That's when you talk about, can this team, the Bulls stack together 6? Can they get in that kind of conversation?
Yeah.
Can they get in the Showtime Lakers 5? Can they get in those kind of conversations? I'm just saying,
They got to get
all
a
of-
lot meaner.
all of those,
They gotta get a lot
they were the number 1 defense in the league by a wide margin. They did lead the league in turnovers forced by a wide margin.
You can't take none of that with you when you go to the next year. And then when you got
Well,
that target on your
they're
back,
also just
it's
way
different.
ahead of schedule, too.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to win the title when you got all these guys who are 22,
They've
23
got like
years
2
old.
guys on the roster who have hair on their chest. I'm just saying.
Shump is learning. We haven't had you on these shows for the last couple of rounds.
Shump's just learning.
Shump's
McMahon
just
is all
learning.
over the place. You can't handle it.
What?
This is what we do all the
Listen,
time,
I just
Shump.
speak
This is
pure
every
facts.
day with us. It's all the time.
I'm that
all the
kid in
time.
the classroom that if we friends, y'all can't laugh and look at me. I'm not the kid that y'all
I was the
look
one who
at.
sat in the back of the classroom and made a bunch of bad jokes and ended up getting kicked out.
I would laugh at
and
the
sent
bad
in
joke.
School suspension.
Shump, he got kicked out of multiple schools. So
Hey,
it's,
J-Dub, what were you sipping on?
Bro, I had champagne. I've never had any alcohol. Champagne count as alcohol?
Yes.
it does, sir.
How much?
Disgusting is crazy.
Yeah, Jay Will's trying to get me to drink tequila, so we'll see how the night goes.
I wouldn't
See how
start
the night
there.
goes. Yeah.
That could not
that kind
go
of
well.
day.
That could go very poorly.
That's
Like,
crazy.
maybe you
I
should.
don't.
Tequila,
I'm betting.
tequila your first
I'm
night.
going to put the
is crazy.
over-under on his tequila shots at 0.5 and take the under.
He needs you to go out with him tonight and
No,
separate him.
No, he does
absolutely
not.
not.
That's exactly
Absolutely.
the
I
wrong
can tell
thing.
right away he's
Shump,
joking.
the night you
Absolutely
won the
not.
championship and went to Vegas, what was that night like?
It was crazy because we went to sleep on the plane thinking we were going to Cleveland.
Oh, wow.
So we was already kind of a little out of it. And then I'm like, all right, I'm finna just get some rest because I know this parade about to be crazy.
Which it was.
You wake up at like 1, and the owner's like, we in Vegas. His eyes lighting up. They're like, yeah. Everybody get up like, oh, we going to Vegas. Left our bags on the plane. Think I had like one of my phones. Probably got back on with one sock or something. Yeah. It was a good time. It was a good time. I never seen so many of the people that helped us in the arena. They brought them on the plane.
Oh, wow.
And a lot of the people the just faces that you saw throughout the year that helped, that was around to be in Vegas and to see them, embrace them, see how they acted outside of their uniform for a change. I mean, it was that was probably one of the most magical experiences that I got. Like,
I mean, I haven't won a title, but I've been in a lot of these. I've been in a lot of these games now, and that is the best part about it is seeing. Like, I went back and saw a bunch of the Thunder executives who I've gotten to know over the years, and like you live through it. Like, you see teams like this, Oklahoma City. A lot of these guys have been here 10, 15. Some of them the whole time with Sam.
17
They
years.
lost in the finals. They lost in the conference finals. They had Durant leave. They had to rebuild, and like, it's fun to see teams fight through all this adversity and get to the finish line and get to experience this and see what it's like, because it's just extraordinarily hard to do, and everybody who's done it, like you've done it, like you're wearing that ring, like you appreciate how difficult it is to actually get here. I know we're talking about these guys maybe winning several, but you got to win one to win several, and it's cool to see these guys finally get there.
I mean, I did win a pickup championship during these playoffs. I mean, today, well, Sean, I'm just going to tell you I was dominant.
Shove, he's out here talking about how he's got triple doubles in pickup.
Absolutely. You're damn right.
And
You're damn right.
That's how you're supposed to be coming, baby. That's how you're supposed to be coming.
Hey, these guys are going to go out later tonight.
You don't need to give them any encouragement, Sean.
You guys have some of the same. You guys have
Cut
some
from the same cloth,
yeah,
man.
That's
That's
right.
all.
We prefer to call that swag.
You know, Shump, though, here's the thing. You play point guard. You pass the ball.
Yeah.
He doesn't.
I'm
pass.
point center, baby. What you talking about? Give me the ball right up there at that elbow and just work off me.
Boy sitter.
Come on.
Boy sitter.
All right, we're gonna. That's gonna be enough. Shump, you've earned some. You've earned 0.05 tequila shots. You're on suspension.
I'm used to it.
All right. Thank you to Bontemps. Thank you
Just
to
real quick
McMahon.
before we go, because it's the end of the finals.
Yeah.
It's been very awesome during the playoffs to have all these people come up and talk about how much they enjoy the pod. Everybody's listening, obviously, listen to this. It's been great having Shump on, but it's just very cool to see how people have embraced the pod over the last couple
Shump,
of years.
you're a star. You got to come back next season.
I appreciate you.
Playoff
That's
stuff.
another thing, man. I came onto this originally just to do the stuff with Vanessa. So I appreciate y'all even allowing me to come sit down with y'all. But
we don't make decisions. That's Wendy.
I don't think I've had more fun talking basketball. I mean, the only thing that would make this better for me is to bring my brother and bring my father up here on the show with us to let them argue too.
What's on the table?
Yeah, they love to talk basketball, but I mean, that's what it makes me feel like. I love this, the kickback, chill vibe of it. But we just talk sports, talk hoops. Get to talk the ups and downs the fans don't get to see. So again, thank y'all for having me around.
Great,
thank you to everybody who watching the Hoop Collective, man, for helping us go viral. Everything y'all got going on, man. Long as y'all continue to like it and learn from it, we're gonna keep talking it.
All right. Thank you to Jackson and Rafa, our producers. Thank you to Blair back there. Thank you to everybody who helped us out here on this 6-week-long finals. It felt like 6 weeks.
Wow.
All right. And we got the NBA draft coming up. We're going to have
like 48 hours.
Yeah, it's pretty soon. And we got a whole bunch of stuff coming up. We got Summer League, blah, blah, blah.
Summer
All right.
League's coming.
Thank you for watching.
Adios.